Today's story is Sir Cedric and the Crystal of Courage. Chapter 1, The Call to Adventure. In the heart of the Kingdom of Eldoria, nestled between towering mountains and lush valleys, stood the formidable castle of Greyston. Its high stone walls and flapping banners of gold and blue told tales of bravery and valor. Sir Cedric, a strong and kind-hearted knight, was known throughout the land for his unwavering loyalty and courageous spirit. With a broad chest, a gentle smile, and eyes that sparkled like the sun on the river, he embodied the very essence of chivalry. One crisp morning, as the sun cast golden rays over the castle grounds, Sir Cedric was summoned to the great hall. The air buzzed with excitement and apprehension, for the royal court had gathered to discuss a matter of great importance. The king, a noble man with silver hair and a voice that commanded attention, stood at the head of the long wooden table. "Brave knights of Eldoria," he began, "dark clouds loom over our beloved kingdom. An army of marauding invaders has been spotted at the borders, seeking to lay siege to our castle and take our lands." A murmur spread through the hall, the knights exchanging worried glances. Sir Cedric's heart raced, not with fear, but with determination. He had pledged to protect his home, and he would not falter. "The time has come for a hero to rise," the king continued, locking eyes with Cedric. "I seek the bravest among you to undertake a quest, to seek the ancient artifact known as the Crystal of Valor. It is said to grant immense power to its possessor, and we must retrieve it before it falls into the hands of our enemies." Cedric stepped forward, his heart swelling with purpose. "Your Majesty, I shall take on this quest. I will find the Crystal of Valor and protect our kingdom from this threat." A cheer erupted from the knights, and the king nodded in approval. "Then prepare yourself, Sir Cedric. Your journey will not be easy, but your courage and intelligence will guide you." As Sir Cedric left the hall, he couldn't help but feel the weight of the quest upon his shoulders. He knew he would face many challenges, but his loyal heart beat steadily, ready for whatever lay ahead. Chapter 2, The Mysterious Map. In his chamber, Cedric gathered his armor and weapons, his gleaming sword, a sturdy shield adorned with the emblem of a roaring lion, and a quiver full of arrows. Just as he was about to leave, a wise old sage named Alaric appeared at the door. His long beard flowed like silver rivers, and his eyes sparkled with knowledge. "Sir Cedric," he said, his voice soft yet firm, "before you embark on your quest, you must know that the path to the Crystal of Valor is hidden. You will need this." He handed Cedric an ancient scroll, its edges frayed and its surface covered in strange symbols. "What is this?" Cedric asked, intrigued. "It is a map, but not an ordinary one. It will guide you through the trials you will face, but you must decipher its riddles to find your way," Alaric explained. Cedric took the map, feeling its cool texture beneath his fingers. "Thank you, wise one. I will solve its mysteries." With a brave heart and a determined spirit, Cedric set out from Greyston Castle. The sun shone brightly as he rode his trusty steed, Valor, through the vibrant fields that surrounded the castle. He studied the map intently, its intricate lines twisting and turning like the paths of his destiny. As he rode further, the landscape began to change. The lush fields gave way to dense forests, their towering trees whispering secrets of the past. Suddenly, a shadow seemed to pass overhead, causing Cedric to look up. A great eagle soared above, its wings stretching wide against the azure sky. "Perhaps a sign," he murmured to himself, feeling a surge of hope. He pressed on, deeper into the woods, determined to solve the first riddle of the map. Chapter 3, The First Riddle. After hours of navigating through the thick foliage, Cedric arrived at a clearing. In its center stood an ancient stone pedestal, weathered by time and adorned with moss. On top of the pedestal lay a shimmering gemstone that glowed softly. It was the first clue. He dismounted Valor and approached the pedestal cautiously. Etched into the stone was a riddle. "To find the way, you must be wise." Look for the truth behind the lies. In shadows deep and waters clear. The answer waits for you right here. Cedric pondered the words, his brow furrowing in concentration. Shadows deep, waters clear, he murmured. Suddenly, he recalled a tale about a hidden spring near the forest's edge, said to reveal truths when gazed upon in reflection. Of course, he exclaimed, racing back through the trees until he reached the serene spring. The water was crystal clear, and as Cedric looked into it, he saw not only his reflection, but also the glimmer of something beneath the surface. With a deep breath, he reached into the water and pulled out a small, silver mirror. The moment he held it up, the riddle's answer illuminated his mind. It symbolizes truth, he said, realizing that the gemstone was a representation of wisdom and clarity. Rushing back to the pedestal, he placed the silver mirror beside the gemstone, and with a soft hum, the two began to glow brightly. The pedestal shifted, revealing a hidden compartment where the Crystal of Valor awaited. Cedric's heart raced as he carefully retrieved the crystal, its brilliance illuminating the clearing. Chapter 4: The Gathering Storm. With the Crystal of Valor safely in his possession, Cedric felt a surge of strength coursing through him. Yet, he knew his journey was far from over. He mounted Valor and began to ride back toward Greyston Castle, but the skies darkened ominously overhead. As he galloped through the forest, thunder rumbled in the distance. The once tranquil woods grew eerily silent, and Cedric's instincts told him he was not alone. Suddenly, a group of bandits emerged from the shadows, their eyes glinting with malice. "Hand over the crystal, knight," their leader shouted, brandishing a wicked sword. "We won't ask twice." Cedric's heart pounded, but he stood tall. "You will not take it. I will defend this crystal with my life." His words rang with courage, and he raised his shield, ready to fight. With a fierce clash, the battle erupted. Cedric's sword danced through the air, meeting the bandits with skill and determination. He ducked and dodged, using his knowledge of the forest to his advantage. With each swing, he felt the weight of honor and loyalty pushing him forward. After a fierce struggle, Cedric emerged victorious, the bandits retreating into the shadows. Breathing heavily, he mounted Valor once more, his heart racing from the clash. He knew the dangers were only beginning, but he felt stronger with each challenge he faced. Chapter 5: The Wisdom of the Elder. Upon returning to Greyston, the atmosphere was tense. The castle's banners fluttered in the wind, and the knights gathered, eyes filled with concern. Sir Cedric presented the Crystal of Valor to King Aldric, who received it with a relieved smile. "You have done well, Cedric," the king praised. "But our enemies are still out there, plotting their next move. We must prepare for battle." Just then, Alaric appeared, his wise eyes filled with concern. "The crystal is powerful, but it is not enough. You must seek the wisdom of the elder tree, deep within the enchanted forest. It holds secrets that may aid us in the upcoming battle." Determined to protect his kingdom, Cedric nodded. "I will go at once." The journey to the elder tree was fraught with challenges. As he entered the enchanted forest, Cedric felt the magic in the air. The trees whispered ancient tales, and the path twisted like a serpent. He followed the map carefully, his heart steady with purpose. After what felt like hours, he finally arrived at the majestic elder tree. Its trunk was wide and gnarled, and its branches reached out like welcoming arms. As Cedric approached, he felt a deep sense of reverence. "Great elder tree," he called out, "I seek your wisdom to protect my kingdom from the invaders." The tree rustled its leaves, and a voice, deep and resonant, echoed around him. "Brave knight, to defeat your foes, you must unite the hearts of your people. Trust in your courage and lead with compassion." Cedric took a moment to ponder the elder's words. Unity and compassion. "I will bring my knights together and inspire them to fight for our kingdom." Feeling rejuvenated, Cedric thanked the elder tree, and made his way back to the castle, ready to rally his fellow knights. Chapter 6: The Rallying Call. Back at Greyston, Cedric gathered his fellow knights in the Great Hall. The atmosphere was heavy with uncertainty, but Cedric stood confidently before them, the Crystal of Valor shining brightly. "Knights of Eldoria, we stand on the brink of war," he began, his voice steady and clear. "But we are not alone. Together, we can protect our home. The Elder Tree has shown me that unity and compassion are our greatest strengths." He recounted the tale of his journey, the challenges he faced, the bandits he fought, and the wisdom of the Elder Tree. Each knight listened intently, their hearts swelling with pride as Cedric's words ignited their spirits. "Let us fight not just for ourselves, but for our families, our friends, and the future of our kingdom. Together, we will rise and defend Greyston." A roar of agreement filled the hall, and the knights raised their swords in solidarity. Cedric felt a surge of hope and courage, knowing that they would face the invaders as one. As night fell, the castle was alight with preparations for battle. Cedric and his knights sharpened their swords, polished their armor, and shared stories of bravery. They knew that tomorrow would be a day of reckoning. Chapter 7: The Battle of Greyston. At dawn, the sun broke through the clouds, casting a golden hue over the castle. Cedric and his knights stood atop the battlements, gazing at the horizon where the enemy army approached, a dark tide of armor and weapons. "Ready yourselves!" Cedric shouted, his heart pounding with anticipation. "We fight for our home, our families, and our honor." The enemy drew closer, and the air crackled with tension. As the battle horn sounded, Cedric led the charge, his heart filled with courage. The clash of steel echoed through the air as the knights engaged in fierce combat, fighting valiantly against the invaders. Cedric fought with precision and bravery, his sword flashing like lightning. He remembered the words of the Elder Tree, using compassion even in the heat of battle, encouraging his fellow knights, reminding them of their purpose. As the tides of battle swirled, Cedric faced the enemy leader, a towering figure clad in black armor. Their swords clashed with a thunderous sound, each blow ringing through the air. "Your reign of terror ends here, knight," the leader snarled, swinging his sword with ferocity. But Cedric stood firm, channeling the strength of his fellow knights and the power of the Crystal of Valor. "We are united. You cannot break our spirit." With a final, powerful strike, Cedric disarmed the enemy leader, sending his sword clattering to the ground. The leader fell to his knees, defeated, and the remaining invaders, seeing their leader subdued, began to retreat. "Hooray for Cedric!" the knights cheered, their voices rising above the chaos. Victory was within their grasp. Chapter 8: A New Dawn. In the aftermath of the battle, the castle was alive with celebration. The knights embraced one another, their spirits high with relief and joy. Cedric stood with King Aldric, who clapped him on the shoulder. "You have proven yourself, Sir Cedric, not just as a knight, but as a true leader," the king declared, his eyes shining with pride. "Today, you have saved our kingdom." Cedric smiled humbly. "It was the strength of our unity and the courage of every knight that led us to victory. Together, we can overcome any challenge." As the sun set over Greyston, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, Cedric gathered his fellow knights to share a final toast. They raised their goblets, laughter filling the air, as they celebrated not only their victory, but the bonds they had forged through courage and loyalty. But Cedric knew that his journey was far from over. The Crystal of Valor, a symbol of hope and bravery, reminded him that true strength lay not just in victories won, but in the hearts of those who fought for what was right. In the days that followed, Cedric and his knights worked to rebuild and strengthen their kingdom. They shared stories of their adventures, inspiring the next generation of heroes to rise. And as Cedric looked out over the land he loved, he knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, he would face them with courage, wisdom, and the stalwart spirit of his fellow knights by his side. And thus, in the Kingdom of Eldoria, the legend of Sir Cedric, the kind-hearted knight, continued to inspire tales of bravery and honor for years to come.